Successful people learn how to make their mind work for them. I'm David Nagel, and this is the Successful Mind Podcast. Okay, we're going into U squared. Pritchett. Quit trying harder. Quantum leaps cannot be achieved through incremental steps or through more of the same. You've got to shift gears. You have to follow new patterns of thought and action. The rules of what works and what doesn't always change when you're trying to make a move from normal performance to U squared. Stop and think about it. Here's the way it goes. More of the same usually gives you more of the same. Of course, if that's mainly what you're after, then fine. Try a little harder, get a little bigger payoff. Try a lot harder, and you can expect a lot better results, right? Well, possibly, but it's definitely not a sure thing. Sooner or later, you're going to reach a point where you can't try any harder. It may be that your spirit flags or that your physical or mental resources are stretched to the limit. And often, well before you come to the set of circumstances, you reach a point of diminishing returns. Trying harder and harder starts producing less and less. Sometimes, in fact, intensifying your efforts produces nothing except bigger problems. As a case in point, go back to the story of the fly. The little insect could have turned away from the window 180 degrees and followed the sure path of least resistance as it flew to the open door. A quantum leap to freedom. 10 seconds of effortless flight would have produced total success, while hours of frustration and panic spent beating its wings against the glass were destined to end fruitlessly in death on a dusty windowsill. Now, this is not an argument against self-discipline or persistence. Those are true virtues. Over time, they can make a powerful contribution to success and achievement. They're fundamental in the development of your talents. It's extremely important to apply yourself diligently, and sometimes staying power is what delivers the big win. I would also add here that staying power is essential. It's not just sometimes, it's essential. The chapter on persistence in Think and Grow Rich is one of the best pieces of literature written on persistence ever. It is 100% required for you to create whatever it is that you want to create. Here's another thing that's also very true. Now, you folks, most of you are not hearing this information for the first time. You're at different stages of your growth. You're at different stages of how much information you've actually taken on. Now, everybody has the ability to do this, to literally just change their life or their income or whatever they want to change. But the odds of somebody doing it 100% the first time are very small. And here's the reason why. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of damn courage to do this, to step out and be different in your life. If you look at what is the reason that you didn't keep your commitment yesterday, when it comes right down to the true answer, it's fear. It's fear. Now, I don't know which direction the fear was for you, but it's fear. It's either fear of becoming who you really want to be. It's fear of dealing with whatever you have to deal with in the moment to set a boundary to get what you want done. It's fear of not having enough, or the fear of rejection. It's fear. We have an intellectual, emotional tool to deal with fear. It's called courage. Courage shows up when we have an inspired vision to be, do, or have whatever we want in life. Now, you got to think. We're damn near at 8 billion people on this planet. Most of them will never hear anything about human potential and what the possibility is to change their own life. And you're in a situation right now, well, you're not only hearing it, you're hearing the best of it. I don't guess at whether a person can win or not. I know they can. I've done it thousands of times over and over again. These principles work, and they work every single time for the person that's going to use them. And it's great. There's all kinds of books. There's all kinds of coaches. There's all kinds of information out there. But when that information gets into your hands, when that book gets into your hands, if you don't have the courage to follow through on it, it's just nice, fluffy information. When you have the courage, when you embrace the courage, you pick up the book, you look at what the author is trying to communicate in the book, and you realize the implications of what that author is stating and how those implications are going to have an impact on your life. Who do you have to say no to? Who do you have to say yes to? Starting with you. What do you have to say no to yourself about? What do you have to say yes to yourself about? And then deal with the fear that goes along with the yes or the no. When I worked with my mentor, the first thing that he had me do was to act like the person I wanted to become. He said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to be a millionaire." He said, "Then here's what I want you to do. I want you to come to every seminar that I'm doing, and you have to pay for every seminar, and you have to pay your own way to get there. And I want you to fly first class. I want you to ride in the front of the plane and the back of the car. I want you to coach with me and do every single thing that I tell you. I want you to study every single thing that I tell you to study." I was not making any more money at this point. If I would have said, "Well, how do I do that?" he would have turned around and walked away from me. Because he taught me first principles. First principles where you make the decision. You make the decision first. The decision is our choice. That's our power. God gave us the ability to choose. It's our greatest power. How it's going to happen is not your job. That's God's job. And the how is already here. The how is already here. Every single thing that you want is already here. But you've got to make the decision. When you make the decision, the money comes to you, the clients come to you, the opportunities come to you. Then you have to make different decisions. It's going to come to you, I like to say, it's going to come to you one step beyond where you are right now. Why? Well, you want to grow, so it can't come in at a completely even level. It has to come in one step that causes you to step into it or up to it. And because most of you want to make money, then the opportunity will come in, will challenge you in some way around money. Like, what is your own discipline around money? What is your own mastery around money? Does money or the lack thereof control the decisions that you make? Does it control your thinking? Or do you make decisions based on where you're going, not based on what you have? So when he said, you go to every seminar, you ride in the front of the plane, the back of the car, on and on. You get all these books, you do all this stuff. Every single thing that he basically told me to do was going to cost me more money. But you see, if my mind is consumed at that spot, think about how juvenile that is. Think about how immature that is. Here's a guy who's telling me, I can show you how to get anything that you want in life so that you can live your purpose, so that you could be a great man, so that you could be a great husband, a great father. You really raise yourself up above mediocrity in your life. But if my mental plane is in the idea with, I don't know how I'm going to buy the book, we're in two very, very different places in life. Now, here's the thing. He can't lower himself to come in to me. He can't do that. He's here. If I want to be here, I have to raise myself to here. I've got to make the decisions to go where he is. It doesn't matter how scary it is. It doesn't matter how risky it is. It's the decision first. Now, the paragraph that I just read said to apply yourself diligently, and sometimes staying power is what delivers the big win. The persistence in that. You're doing it over and over and over again. It's not like, well, I read the book and nothing happened. It's like saying, I want to, where do I want to go? I want to go to Asia. I'm in Chicago. I want to go to Asia. I read a map, but I didn't get there. Now, if somebody told you that, you'd be like, hey, dummy, what the hell's the matter with you? Reading the map's not going to take you there. You got to make the decision. You got to book the tickets. You got to get on the plane. You got to get in the car. You got to get on the boat. Reading the map's not going to get you there. He goes on to say, but ordinarily you will find that trying harder produces only incremental gains, not quantum leaps. Also, keep in mind that trying harder, even a lot harder, sometimes offers a little more than a straight path to burnout. Attempting to succeed through more of the same, being resolute and relying on committed effort can bind you to better pathways. If you want to make a quantum leap, quit thinking about trying harder. More effort is not the answer. More effort is not the answer. Okay, so what is the answer? Well, the answer, first of all, is that we have to take this beautiful image of we want and we need to plant it into the fertile ground of our subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind is like the earth. It has no moral aptitude. It will give you what you plant, but it won't decide what you plant. Doesn't, like, if you could plant corn or nightshade in the ground, it'll grow either one. Same soil, same energy. Your mind is the same way. You could plant a good idea or a bad idea, and it's going to give you either one. That's one of the mysteries that people have around God that they just don't really understand. Because we were given the ability of choice. We get to choose what version of life we want to live, heaven or hell. Heaven or hell. But the idea is basically this. When the parameters of what we're learning reside within the rules of ideas like good and evil, we've got a real problem because there's not anything beyond that concept. So it keeps us fighting within those parameters. So you could take anything that's polar opposite. You could take good and evil. You could take poverty and wealth. You could take freedom and bondage. You could take right and wrong. You could take here and not here. Anything in your mind. Because if we're going to stay within the boundaries of those two ideas, we can't break into the abundance. I don't want you to necessarily think money when I say abundance there. I want you to think about abundance of idea, abundance of opportunity. So my whole study has always been about bigger answers in a much different direction that lead to a different outcome. And in 2014, I was taking a river canal cruise through Burgundy, France. It was a 5-day cruise. You went all through Burgundy. You get to stop at all these wineries and castles and all this stuff. And I went to this one winery whoever owned the winery had his private art collection there. And a lot of it was Dali. right? Which was pretty cool. Like you get to see all these different works of Dali that most people don't get to see. But there was another artist. There was a statue that totally caught my attention. And it was called Beyond Good and Evil. So when I first saw it, there was this whole Adam and Eve thing going on in my mind or whatever. You know, the Chilean thing here represents kind of like the apple. But the whole idea was that the artist created it, and I don't know how to pronounce it in French, but it's actually called Beyond Good and Evil. That's what the statue is called. And it's a bronze. So it was quite expensive. I didn't buy it then, but it captivated me. And it stayed in my mind for a long time until I met somebody who was a client. So she found the artist, and the artist made me one for me personally. Custom made me one, and then shipped it from France. And now it sits in this beautiful room in my house, but where I get to walk past it every day. But it reminds me of something very important, that there is something beyond. There is something way beyond good and evil, right and wrong. And if we want results in our life that are beyond mediocre, we have to go beyond traditional thinking. What is everybody fighting about right now? We're fighting about facts and parameters that have been laid down in life for a very long period of time, but we're fighting within the rules of it, so we can't get past it. We can't get past it. The rules in which we've been taught keep us locked into the problem. And what we want to do is we want to go way past the problem. We want to go into a different solution. So in order to do that, right now what we're going to do is we're going to do the visualization. So make sure you're nice and comfortable. I want you to have your goal or your vision, whatever it is that's easiest for you to visualize. So let's just get that in front of us. Everybody get ready. I'm going to grab something here. I want you to close your eyes, but I don't want you to go to sleep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a series of suggestions that I want you to then visualize as I take you through this process. Okay. Make sure your body is comfortable. And just allow your eyes to close. Take 3 deep breaths. See yourself on a beach. Nice sun-baked sand. You're laying there. It's very warm. You can feel the heat radiating up through your body in a way that makes you very comfortable, very relaxed. It's not too hot, but it's a refreshing heat. You can feel the sun on your body as you hear the waves coming in with the tide. See the waves coming in over and over, back and forth. There's nobody else on the beach, but you hear a seagull. Hear the seagull. You can sense when the sun goes behind a cloud. You feel a brief cooling off in that moment. After a sustained period of time of sun, a slightly cool breeze comes in and you find it very refreshing from your head down to your toes. And as the breeze subsides, you can feel the sun warming your toes and your feet and your legs and your stomach and your chest and your mind. You're very happy. You feel very light. And in your mind, you start picturing yourself walking. You're getting up and you're walking down the beach. Up ahead, you see a row of trees, but you cannot see beyond the trees. They're lush green trees, and you could hear the wind blowing through the leaves. It sounds very inviting. As you walk up to those trees, you see that there's a path down the middle, and you walk down this path. And as you're walking down the path and you hear a twig snap under your foot or a leaf rustle, the ocean becomes quieter as you move deeper into the forest. The forest is very quiet. And as you're walking on this path, you hear some of the small animals start to come alive. You hear the songs of the birds, the chirps of the squirrels, and you continue to walk down the path until you see an iron gate in front of you about 100 yards. You pause, and you see the initials of your name written in gold on the gate. You decide to walk up to this gate. As you're walking down the path up to the gate, the initials are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You feel a sense of excitement. You don't know what this means. But as you walk up to the gate, beyond the gate, about another 100 yards, you see a beautiful house. It's the house of your dreams. And as you approach the gate opens, and you proceed to walk in. You decide to walk into the gate. And as you walk in, you hear the gate closing. You take a little look backwards and you see that the gate's closing. You feel very safe, very serene. A slight air of excitement is coming over you. And as you begin to walk up to this house, you see that there's a red front door. It's a beautiful shade of red. And in gold, embossed in gold on the front of the door, is your first name. As you walk up to the door, you reach out to grab the handle to open the door, and the door slowly opens on its own. And it's as if you can feel someone calling you by your first name to step into the house. Say your first name and please come into the house. Go ahead and say that. As you walk into the house, the smells in the house are very loving. They feel very warm. It makes you feel like you're home. And you feel pulled to walk down a hallway to a very special room. And in this room, there's a beautiful chair, the most comfortable chair that you've ever owned. And you walk up to this chair and you sit down in the chair. When you sit down in the chair, there's a little table with a lamp on it to your left. There's a book on that table that again has your name written in gold letters on the book. It doesn't say anything else. It just has your first name in gold letters on the book. And you willingly pick up this book. See yourself picking the book up off the table. as you pick up this book, you open it. And when you open the book, it calls you by your first name and it says, you can have whatever you want. What do you want? Softly say to yourself, call yourself by your first name, I can have whatever I want. What do I want? You look up in front of you after you say that, and you see that there's a little corridor with some stairs that go down. You get up and you walk towards that corridor, and it's about 5 stairs. And as you go down these stairs, you begin to count. Deeper relaxation with every step. So say this out loud with me. 5, feeling very relaxed. 4, very calm and more relaxed. 3, my body feels like jelly and is very relaxed. 2, deeper relaxing now. 1, I am now consciously hypnotized of my own free will. In your mind, your eyes open. And in front of you, there is an elevator. As you walk up to the elevator, there is an arrow that only points down, and you push the button with the arrow. The big, beautiful doors of the elevator open very quietly and peacefully. Inside of the elevator, it looks like the wealthiest, most majestic elevator you've ever seen. And it's so inviting. You consciously step into the elevator and you turn around and it says, push me. And there's a button. As you push the button, you see the numbers light up very big in front of you that are going to take you from 10 down to 1. And with every level, you're going to become more relaxed. Say the numbers out loud with me. 10. More relaxed now, in total control of my own mind. 9. Deeper I go, in total control. 8. More relaxed now. I'm going down further. 7. More relaxed. 6. Anything is possible at this level. The deeper I go. 5. More relaxed now. The possibility is expanding. 4. I feel very jelly-like, very relaxed. 3. Totally conscious and totally hypnotized. 2. I'm accepting of my future and all my possibilities. 1. I am home now with the higher side of myself. The doors open. See the doors opening in front of you. When you step out through the doors, you see a movie theater. There's nobody in the theater, and it's a small theater. It only has about 10 beautifully luscious chairs. You walk in and pick one, and you sit down in the chair, and the screen that's in front of you is dark. As you sit down and you visualize that screen, you take it into your consciousness, it starts to become lighter. See the screen becoming lighter. On the screen, the words appear, "What do you want?" And you think about your goal. You think about your vision. Just let that come into your consciousness. You can see yourself fully alive in your goal. What do you want? And you see your goal. The screen begins to go dark again, and then it starts to come alive. And it says, decision. You see yourself, see yourself, you see yourself living in the goal. You see yourself with it. You see yourself have it. You feel it in your body. You think from the point of this is it is now mine. And you're thinking from the accomplishment of the goal. You own the goal now. It is who you are. You are one with the goal. There is no separation. See yourself with the goal and say, I am one with this goal. This goal is mine. This goal is mine here and now. As you see yourself with that goal, a warm feeling of gratitude comes over your heart. You feel so immensely grateful for all of the decisions that you've made in your life that are allowing you to be here in this moment, this time. Allow yourself to just feel that within you. Such deep and profound gratitude. All the people that came into your life to help you, all the people that you have helped. You realize that it is now time for you to go and live in that goal. Again on the screen, it pulses decision. In your mind, say yes. Now out loud, say yes. Yes flashes on the screen in the theater. The screen goes dark, and you get up out of the chair with a deep feeling of profound gratitude, and you walk toward the elevator. You step into those inviting doors, and you turn around, and you push the button to go up. As we go up, we are going to become fully conscious one level at a time. So speak out loud with me. Repeat after me. 1, feeling very calm and confident. 2, feeling more awake, but my eyes are heavy. 3, feeling warm and grateful all over my body. 4, more awake now, feeling my hands and my arms. 5, more awake, becoming alert. 6, I have feelings in my body, my torso, and my legs. 7, more alert now. 8, becoming conscious of my surroundings. 9, fully awake. 10, opening my eyes. You realize in this moment what you desire is already in you. The things that you desire are right in front of you. They're here now, and they're just waiting for you. Decide in this moment that today is going to be the most magnificent day. Every time you take yourself through this exercise, you plant that vision deep into your subconscious mind. It becomes part of you. You're one with who you are. You're magnetically attracted and attached to the thing that you want to be, do, and have. And it comes to you with even more increasing speed and satisfaction. I hope you have a glorious day. Do a little bit more than you did yesterday and keep your commitment. Make it a lovely day.
Thanks for listening to the Successful Mind podcast. And if you like what you heard and you want to know more, go to davidnagel.com/free stuff.